In this video, I'm going to show you how to change the blades for your riding lawnmower, specifically this brand right here, the Husqvarna. So I'll be doing this installation process without removing the deck. So I'll be keeping the deck intact underneath the lawnmower. I'm just going to drive it on top of a ramp. Make sure it's a good stable ramp that does not slip. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and put some 2x4s through the chute, so that way it'll keep the blades from moving, and it'll also keep that little flap up so it doesn't get in the way when I'm trying to change the blades. So my riding mower here is a 46-inch deck, so I would preferably want to have the 2x4 at least 46 inches or longer, preferably longer, so that way I can actually keep the flap open, and also it extends past the chute, so that way the blades are in a good solid position where it doesn't move. So while I was looking into how to perform this blade replacement, I saw multiple people try different methods. It's really a trial and error. That's kind of how I figured out what the positioning should be for the 2x4. So you would have to kind of wiggle around and see how it fits best for your situation. So in my case, I have one 2x4 which I have kind of jammed in between one blade so it does not move that blade. And I use the other 2x4 to prop the chute door open, or the flap open. Okay, so now we're ready to actually disassemble the blade. So I'm going to do that by first loosening that bolt. So to loosen up that bolt, I'm going to go ahead and use a 16mm socket wrench, and that should do the trick. And I am trying to do this on a Husqvarna YTH 22V 46. So that's a 22 horsepower 46-inch deck. So I'm going to be changing a 46-inch deck blade. Okay, so you want to loosen it up from the side. I have it set up on a ramp. It's pretty safe, but this is easier to access it. And if I can not be under the mower when I'm doing this, it's even better. It does take a lot of force if you have never loosened up the blade before. But yeah, I have way more leverage trying to do it from the side here. So it should be relatively easy. As you can tell, I have this piece of 2x4 to prevent the blades from moving. That's it. Go ahead and pull everything out. So there's the washer, and there's that little tightening nut in between, and then of course the bolt. That's all there is to it. Now we're gonna go ahead and do the same on the other side here. So we'll go ahead and loosen up that bolt and remove that blade, and then we'll be putting in the replacement blades, and I'll show you what those look like. So when we're putting a 2x4 on the other blade right here, what we're going to do is we're just going to pass it all the way through the slit right there. So through that hole, we're going to pass it all the way along, and then you want to have it kind of on top of the blade, as you can tell right there, and then just have it rest against the housing up top. So that way when you start loosening it up, the blades, the fin area is going to catch on. That's going to keep it tight right there. So I'm going to go ahead and loosen up the other side by going in through this side right here. this is the blade. So if you're wondering how to install it back, the fin end has to be facing the top. So that's going to be on the deck side here, and this is going to be the open side right here. And as for the bolt, you got this big washer and the little tightening washer in between that, and then your nut. And then it goes like this. Pretty simple. So this is the new blade that I'll be using. It's ultra durability blade. It's for a 46-inch mower. And let me show you what's inside. So this is the blade set right here. There's only 2 blades, and those are my old ones right there. As you can tell, these are your mulching blades because the fin has the slits, which should chop up the grass blades into finer pieces. So first I'm going to go ahead and pull this guy out because I don't need this right now. Just going to need it for tightening. Alright. Time to place the blade. The fins have to be up. And that's going to go in right there. So it's fairly straightforward to put it in. Once it's in the slit, into the clover slit, you just tighten it back up. I'm going to go ahead and do the same back here. You do need to pass a 2x4 in so that you can hold it in place, but it's fairly straightforward to put it back in. It's easier than when you loosened it out. So I went ahead and installed the blades underneath. The second blade, I just hand fitted it, so that one right there, I just slipped it in and then put the bolt on it. Now I'm going to go ahead and use my 2x4 to make sure that I can hold the blades in place while I tighten it. So first I'm going to try to get it into that slot, the clover looking slot. It might actually be easier if I tighten it up a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and tighten it up so that way I'm not dealing with too much play on the bolt. Okay, now I need to find where the slot is. There we go. Got it in the slot. Okay, now that it's in the slot, hand tighten it first, just to make it easier. Okay. So it's in place. I'm going to try to lock it in right about here. So that should do the trick. Boom, right there. Now I just tighten it up. You want to make sure you're not putting too much stress on the deck. It is suspended after all. So, it looks like that did not do the trick. It's spinning. I'm going to try to hold it. And I'm going to try to get it right up here.
see if I can get it to stop somewhere. Okay, so the easier to do than I was taking it out. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and try to hold it in place and just do it with my hand.
Okay, now all that's left to do is actually give this a test run and see how the blades are performing. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a quick test run out here. So my honest first impression though, I am not sure if the mulching blades are actually making a considerable difference, but I do notice that the blades that are coming out of the chute are fairly smaller compared to what it was before. So I guess it is working. I think the main catch is here that you gotta mow very frequently, every couple of days, to actually really mulch it in to the grass. Otherwise, you're gonna have big clumps. Because I've used it afterwards, and I've noticed like big clumps of grass coming out. So I hope this video was useful in helping you guys replace your own blades. And if it did help you, please hit that like and subscribe button and follow along for more.